I'm 2 days away from the cruise now, lads. I'll let you know how the old timers are. They'll tell me about the football from the 60s. I'm sure I'll learn all about the Bill Nick push and run, and I'll come back.
What I want to know is what you've done with this beer price list that you was fucking making on Saturday of every pub in Tottenham.
Oh, mate. Well, that was the thing. So now, hopefully, like people on social saw what it was. I couldn't believe £3.30 in the Crown and Anchor.
Unbelievable.
I reckon people think you've got a doppelganger. The amount of pubs and how quickly you were getting through them, mate. People must have been like, this cunt's everywhere.
Yeah, didn't you hear his voice? You could tell he'd been fucking lobbing him down his neck.
Yeah. Mate. Listen, I started at 9. Well, I left the house at 9. I was in the cap at 10. I was in the Crown and Anchor at 5 to 11. I got in a cab to get home from Arnos Grove at 3:10 in the morning, the next morning.
Oh, my God.
It was one of those ones.
Now.
Yeah, it was a big one. It was a big one. It was good. To be fair, I went to pubs that I didn't usually go to. I didn't go to Bricklayers, but I went to like the Antwerp and the Elmhurst and whatnot, and they're really nice. Like really good.
Do you know? I heard the Elmhurst was an away pub for a little while.
It might be, but because they've done it all, like I mean, it's very like for the area. It's definitely like the professionals who have moved into the area, you know, and bought out a decent house.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's that kind of mob.
Gentrified pub.
Gentrified, but it's lovely. I can't lie. TVs everywhere. Can't lie, but
I went there was for the Mayweather Pacquiao fight at like 3 in the morning, and they had like a.
Oh wow, what's happened?
Mate, that's how long ago it was. I've been there. Like someone told me it was an away pub, and I ain't been there since.
Yeah. Do you know what, team? You just brought back a memory that I remember staying up for that fight, and I was staying at my auntie's house in Brightwood Road, and that was the worst fight. You know, the most hyped fight, and it was terrible.
Do you know what's going to go the same way? I reckon Joshua Fury is going to be similar.
Mate, I don't even want to watch it. They're both
waiting for it for so long, and it's gonna be shit.
Finished.
Yeah. They've left it so long, and now they're doing it in New York. Like, if I was an American, I'd be like, who are these two? Like, you kind of know who Fury is. Joshua's only had one fight in America, and he lost it to Ruiz.
Yeah.
In New York as well. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Has it been confirmed now then?
Well, it's definitely not going to be here, I don't think. That was what I was saying.
No. Of course not. Just money. I lost to love when they all start retiring, coming out of retirement. Like I used to love McGregor in the UFC. I'm retiring, I'm coming back. I couldn't be arsed with it. They're all doing it now. Just a money spinner. It's a shame.
Yeah. I should definitely retire after that day out the other day. I'm telling you that. I was yesterday was a match.
To come home to the arms folded, door locked and all that, yeah?
Well, yeah. I mean, we had to go shopping yesterday. I had to make sure I was right for that. But that was a session. But
why do they do that? They do that on purpose, innit? They plan a day out the next day.
Mate.
If I go out and get on it, I'll wake up, the missus will be like, we're going to the zoo today, taking the kids. Oh, yeah, and not the new one, one fucking Colchester or something. We're going, we're off.
Oh, mate, well, anyway. It was bedlam. But no, good times. And now we're ready to go. It's the start of a new season. So to everybody, welcome to the Heart Now Here Spurs Fans Podcast. We are back. This is our 200th episode, gents. 200. Sadly, Kev's away. I think he's doing some coaching, isn't he? I saw he put in a group. He's doing some coaching. So
ruining some young kid's career, somewhere.
Go long. But we're here. It's myself, Lee Terrier, TJ Smith, Oren Campbell. Shane, what is your surname, bro? Hall.
Matt, Hall. I'm so glad you asked because I don't feel like a part of the team until it's name.
No. And the one
what's your NI number as well, Shane? Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Bit personal,
number. Yeah. It's the four of us today, and we've got a very special guest coming up later from Two Geese in a Pod. And last word on Spurs, we've got one and only Billy T joining us as part of the festivities today. It's obviously a few days away from the season starting. We've got Brentford away, 5:30 on Saturday. Couple of days removed from, well, I guess it was 2 friendlies this weekend, both against Hoffenheim, one in front of a crowd, one just at the training ground, pretty much different teams. as they were. But did anyone watch it on Saturday on the box or seen anything about it?
Yeah, I watched it. What is in the game you went to?
Yeah, the home one.
Yeah. I thought it was good. Yeah, I thought we played all right. Like I thought yeah, just in general, just a generally solid performance. I thought like everyone kind of played well. Tell, I think he's got me. I think me and you disagreed on this at the weekend, Lee. Like I think Tell played. In my opinion, I think he played well, but he's just got no end product. Like he does everything right up until the end product part. And I mean, if he was a kicker for a rugby team, he'd do all right. But it's just he can't. It never fucking goes below the bar, does it? When he shoots.
Yeah,
but
you know what? Yeah,
I thought he was all right though, Lee.
You reckon? Because he set up 2 of the goals, but I just any other time, like I felt that they were sort of like a bit of bad defending. No, not to take everything away from him. It was a bit mixture of a bit of a bad defending, but also like the ball was stuck under his feet, and then it got a bit of the rub of the green and whatnot. When I wanted him to really go at a fullback, he didn't do it, or he couldn't do it, and I was really hoping that I'd see him really take the game to them. And people would say, well, what more do you want from him? He set up 2, but yeah, I just felt I don't know, I didn't see enough. And I was just saying to Orin, like we are very close now to the weekend, and at the moment our front 3 is Tell, Mikey Moore, and Richarlison. If it stays as it is, I mean, Orin, when you hear that, like, is that something that makes you feel like we're ready for the season? I know Savinho is on the verge, but we do need more than that, surely.
We definitely do need more than that, and that's the thing that's keeping me up at night, if I'm honest, because that front 3 just screams championship to me. We were just having a conversation about Dominic Solanke, and he's just about got 100 goals in his career. And a lot of some of his career, not a lot of it, but some of it has been spent in the championship. And for me, he's just not anywhere near the quality that we need to challenge for where we aim to be next season. Now, if you'd said to me at the beginning of the preseason and the summer, right, we're aiming to break into the top 10, Solanke is perfect for that. But when we spent 185 million on 2 midfielders, we need someone to put the ball in the back of the net, and Solanke is just not it. So I'm really hoping by, because the deadline to sign players to play for Brentford is 12 o'clock on Friday, I believe. So right. I'm just really hoping that we've got a striker lined up that we can bring in.
Yeah, because I guess we had 2 goals from Mikey Moore. He came in and he done the job. Good old Mikey. But what we really got to be honest about is that Richarlison, who got the other goal, there he is, sort of giving it the big one. But I don't know. Again, he's too hit and miss, and we can't really go into the season thinking that we can rely on him again, can we, Shane? Because as much as he's good and he does have his days, there's a lot of times when he doesn't really deliver.
Yeah, I remember saying on the pod before, if we can't go into another season with that front, with Richarlison up top, me and Owen obviously had a bit of a back and forth in the group about Solanke, and I just feel that Solanke does offer a lot more than Richarlison, but he's just not available. So I understand Owen's point, but Richarlison, yeah, he's just really not it for me. He really isn't. I think I'd let anyone comes in and takes over him, I'd let him go in a heartbeat. Anyone who offers, I mean, I've heard the rumours today that he was, but then now Ali Gold's come out and said it was a load of nonsense. No one has offered. They were saying Everton had offered to buy him, but obviously haven't. Yeah, Richarlison isn't it, mate. I don't know what the answer is, but I'm just kind of getting bored of it now. He's saying 60% done, and I do believe him. We've got to follow in what we've already done. We can't bring in all this quality. Like from us, obviously sent in the group earlier the picture of what potential lineup will be, and you look at the keeper, the back 4, midfield 3. You're happy with it? Okay, Gallagher, you would probably want either Maddison or Simmons if we're going off that lineup. But everywhere else is brilliant, and then that front 3 is just not it. But if we continue to in this transfer market in the next couple of weeks the way we already started, then we'll be absolutely fine. And I do believe that we will. It's just hard, like Owen said, losing sleep over it. And the thing is, for me now, I'm just falling for any bullshit. The second I see anything, and I'll know you're all calling me out in the group. The second I see anything, I just want to believe something that someone's going to come through the door and just hope there's a little bit of truth behind it. But it just seems Savinho and Gakpo, and are they the ones would you really want? I think I'm just desperate for anyone now, so I'm kind of desperately wanting them. And really, if you'd asked me before, I don't think I did want them.
Right. I mean, I like Savinho. Gakpo, I think. I liked him at the World Cup. I think he's done all right for Liverpool. I think they obviously had a tough time throughout the team last year. I think we could get something in him, but it is that front three needs to deliver for us. But somebody who did deliver for us, I think, on the day, TJ, I know we talked about Tell and how we differed on that, but I'd like to know your feelings about Bergvall. Like, what did you think of him? Because for me, he delivered, man. He was probably my man in the match. What did you reckon?
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I think he was the best player on the pitch. I genuinely think he was creative. He was physical. He wanted things to happen. And when he got on the ball, they did. You could see, like, he got up, he'd turn and looked to pass forward. I thought he was fantastic. Track back, putting in tackles as well, which is something I probably didn't see from him last season. And yeah, for a guy that, wants away, when he's playing like that, and he's got a lot of good players on playing with him at the time, I think he makes an argument for starting, to be honest. And I know we've made some big signings, but I thought he was the best player on the pitch at the time. And I've always said I've always liked Bergvall, to be honest. Like, he's always been that player that when he come, he got blooded early along with Archie Gray, and that season when basically everyone got played out of position for the whole season. And I feel like he's earned his stripes and earned the privilege to kind of get some minutes in the Prem on a regular basis. And I thought he performed well at the World Cup as well. There's not a lot he's doing wrong for me, Bergvall. For a player his age to be putting in the performance he is, I don't really see why we should look to offload someone like that. Listen, the manager's made it quite clear. He's like, if people don't want to be here, I'm going to out them. And I think you've seen that with Romero and Spence this week. Like, I'm sure we'll get onto it, but with them lot going and for the fees they went for, that's obviously a manager saying, if you don't want to be here, then you're not here. Simple. And I think if Bergvall continues down I'm looking for a new challenge and I want to play first team football on a regular, then he'll go as well. But I think out of those three, I think he'll be the biggest loss if we get rid of him.
Yeah, I don't think we get rid of it. Like, he's always shown a desire when he plays, Bergvall. I think he's always shown that he's playing with intent, that he plays with passion, that he wants to do well, regardless of what's happened with him and what he's thinking now. He's probably feeling that because of the fact that he didn't always start under De Zerbi when he came in. So it's always tougher to get that feeling of like, is it worth me staying here? If a team like Forest that have got a manager in that has just gone and done 2 really good seasons with Palace winning big trophies, he's thinking this could work well for me. Warren, what do you think about that when it comes to Bergvall? Because I don't get the impression that he's going to go, but what do you think?
So it's a difficult one for me because at the end of the day, if the teams are offering 60 million in this market, you kind of have to take it for Bergvall. But I do think that there's a really good player in there who has had who's been unfortunate in one having to play under Ange in terms of the amount of games he played in that season, having come over from Sweden, playing a lot of football, and then the second season under Thomas Frank, he was being played out of position. So I think, in fairness to Bergvall, especially last season, he's been misprofiled. Now, he's probably come in thinking, right, they've signed Fernandes, they've signed Tonali. I'm probably behind Bentancur. I'm probably behind Gallagher. I don't see a way into the team. But I think because De Zerbi's played him, I think he started in the last 2 or certainly 2, but maybe 3 pre-season games. Yeah. And De Zerbi's kind of the way in which he speaks about Bergvall has changed in that he's kind of saying, look, I want to, you know, if he wants to stay, then I'll be more than happy to kind of keep him here. And, you know, for me, if I'm Bergvall and I'm looking at the season, and yes, Tonali and Fernandez more often than not will start, because again, you don't spend nearly 200 million on two midfielders and don't expect them to start. And yes, there's going to be less games, but you also got to remember that the Premier League is a very intensive league, and there's going to be loss of form, there's going to be suspensions, there's going to be injuries. And does Bergvall, it's a calculation at the end of the day, isn't it? So does he think, right, I can go to Forest, I can play more often than not, and in the next 2 seasons I will end up in a club, in another Big Six club, or in one of the big clubs, you know, your Barcelonas, your Real Madrids, etc. But for me, I would, if I'm Bergvall, I would bide my time this season. I would push. My sort of strategy would be to push, you know, to oust Gallagher out, to oust Bentancur out, so that he is the one getting those minutes when, you know, when Fernandez and Tonali's tired, that he's the one getting the minutes, almost being that third choice midfielder. And I think that's where we'll end up, because at the end of the day, look, the season starts on Saturday, and it's 2 weeks to the end of the transfer window. If we sell Bergvall at this point of the season, we have to replace him. Do you know what I mean? We have to replace him. And again, you know, we spoke in pre-season, and I think Bentancur is one of those that's upgradable. I think Gallagher's not a 10. And, you know, if anything, I'd like to see Bergvall play in that sort of more advanced position for the start, because he gets about the pitch, and he's tenacious, but he's got quality on the ball, which I don't think Gallagher's got.
Yeah, very interesting. And that's the thing, you know, there are positives that have come out of the weekend. Again, on the Sunday behind closed doors, we saw that Maddison was there, Fernandez was there. Players are coming back, and we are, as it says, T-minus 5 days from our game, 5:30 on a Saturday night. And, you know, that's a huge thing for us, I think. And like this podcast now, we're in our 200th episode today. I've got to say, we've been proudly sponsored by our good friends at Hotspur Heritage, who smash it out of the park with their artwork. As we said before, they've done great stuff for us on our own socials. They create their own artwork for you to buy. That's, you know, your own pieces, anything to do with Spurs. These guys have got it down to a T. You have to check out Hotspur Heritage if you want anything. And we're getting up to Christmas. It's not far away. I know I shouldn't be saying that, as some of us are booking cruises or getting ready for the start.
Mate, we've just had a heat wave, and you're talking about Christmas. Leave off,
but you can never be too quick. You can never be too quick. And I'll tell you what, you'd be stupid if you didn't get somebody something from Hotspur Heritage for a birthday, Christmas, whatever it may be. And we're also sponsored by Smart Drain UK, who, again, smash it out of the park with whatever you need with your plumbing details. We will have more of those guys coming on to speak to us in regards to what they do. And they mean a lot to us, because without them, really, you know, we don't have that sponsorship. We don't have the time to grow and the space to do this, but we love it. And it's 200 episodes down, and we're very, very fortunate today to have a very special guest, someone who's come on, who's a legend in the Spurs podcast world of their own. And I thought now is the best time to bring him in. It's Mr. Billy T from Last Words on Spurs, 2 geeks in a pod. How are you, sir? You all right?
Yeah, good, man. Thank you so much. It's a real honor to be here, and really looking forward to it, man. So, I mean, last season, man, I was just relentless doing podcasts, but I feel I'm absolutely buzzing to talk Spurs at the moment. So, really happy to be here with you guys.
Oh, cheers, Billy. I mean, and what is your take on Spurs at the moment? Because we've been talking about the weekend's friendly. There was positives, you know, the fact that we saw Tonali, we saw Robinson, Fernandez and Maddison played behind closed doors, but we're still missing that sort of trio up front. How has the summer been for you? How is it looking with 5 days to go? Are you excited? And what do you think is going to happen before we kick off against Brentford?
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to you guys before. I feel like it's the same kind of vibe, really. Like, definitely cautiously excited for what's to come. Different feeling to last season, it feels like. Feels like we're heading in the right direction. Was really impressed with the start of the transfer window that we made. Obviously, Tonali and Fernandez, I think, was exceptional transfer business. Van Hecker as well. Getting a little bit touchy about the forwards, not going to lie. I'm a little bit touchy in that regard, and I think we will sign. I'm confident that we'll sign Savino and Gakpo. I just not sure it'll be done for Brentford, and it just feels like a bit of a weird season though. You look around the Premier League, doesn't feel like anyone is like properly sorted all their business yet. So there's that. But do you know what? It just feels like we're slowly getting our identity back as a football club, and I put that down to the manager. You know, I think he's done an absolutely unbelievable job in keeping us up, and he's turned the feeling around with the place. And you've got people like Van der Ven and Porro signing new deals. And let's be honest, they could easily get clubs elsewhere. You've got the legends coming in for training and stuff like that. You've got some young players coming through. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm still, have to get some more forwards come in, and I think that will happen. I'm not sure that will happen before Brentford, but I think it will happen before the end of summer. But it just feels so different, man. It feels so different to what it felt like last season, I have to say.
Yeah, and that's the good thing. We kind of feel like Savinho's on the verge. It's almost like a here we go, ready to go at some point. Gakpo, it feels there's a little bit more in puzzles to be done with Liverpool. Who's the other person? If we're talking about, there's been this third player that might be coming in these forward areas. Have you heard anything? What do you think? Who do you think could literally and realistically come in?
So I think it's a difficult one because I think obviously everyone's dream would be Osimhen, and like that if we manage to do something like that, I think it would just propel us from like being sort of contenders for Europe to contenders beyond that. And you'd imagine that the target would be to get back in the Champions League, maybe even more. But I can't see it happening. I just can't see that transfer happening. I think from what I've heard today is that we're looking at people like Mateta. I'm not massively overwhelmed by that one. I think the striker market is dead. I'm not going to lie. I think there's not a lot out there. There's no one out there I look at and think other than Osimhen. I think that's the guy we should go and get. I was a really big fan of Krupi. I think Krupi would have been the one for us. And the back of my mind, my personal opinion is that we should still sign Krupi now. I think if he's injured for 2-3 months, that's a striker on for 10 months. Then I'd just go and do it anyway. But there's no one really out there beyond Osimhen. I think that's the guy that's going to sort us out up front. It's a bit of a dry market, the striker market, isn't it?
It is, and that's the tough thing about it, because we do have players, and we collectively, us lot in here, have different views. I'm a big fan of Solanke. I know Orin isn't as big a fan. Richarlison is quite hit and miss. If we did keep with those two, Savinho and Gakpo, what's realistic for Tottenham this year, Billy? Like, what can we actually really believe that we can achieve?
I think if we support Savinho and Gakpo, that'll be up. I think we'd be looking at a spend of about 350 million there, which would be a massive transfer spend, wouldn't it, overall?
Yeah.
I think the target would have to be get back into Europe. My feeling is as well, I really want to go on a deep run in the FA Cup. I feel like Tottenham are an FA Cup team, and in my lifetime, I haven't seen us in one FA Cup final since '91. So, I'd like to address that as well, because I think one game a week is going to be a massive advantage for us. But for me, I just think the realistic aim has got to be get back into Europe, and then hopefully the season beyond that, you can start challenging for the major honours. But I think after finishing 17th twice, getting back into Europe will be a big season. I just feel like if we were a little bit more ambitious in the transfer market, and we did manage to get an Osimhen in, then we could look beyond, just Europe, and we could think maybe about the Champions League or maybe even beyond that. But I just feel like, 17th last season, Man United finished third after finishing 16th. We're probably looking at a top 6, Europe push, I think.
Yeah, Billy, just want to ask you a quick one. Obviously, I think that's pending, obviously, getting an attacker coming in, right? Because, I don't know, I'm really of the opinion that if we don't improve that front line, I think even Europe will be a bit of a push. Like, I can definitely see us being top 10, 100%. But I feel like without that striker, I think, or even some sort of improvement to the front line. Like, I feel like the Savinho ones is a good signing, but if we don't improve on those forwards at the moment, it's like Lee said at the start of the show. We've got Mikey Moore, Tell, and Richarlison likely starting on Saturday at the moment, and I just don't see those guys getting us into European places at the moment.
I agree, and none of those players that you mentioned are prolific goal scorers, are they? Richarlison is, funny enough, probably our most prolific forward at the moment, and he scored 11, 12 goals last season. Solanke, I think, can pull out a 20-goal a season striker form, but it's just, I'm not sure that we're going to see it at Tottenham because he's always in and out of form of injuries. Mikey Mortel are just they're not prolific goal scorers either. So I completely agree, unless we add some serious goal power into that. we're coming off the back of 3. You look at what's happened in the last 2-3 seasons. We've lost Kane, which is like 40, 50 goal guaranteed. We lost Son, which is like 30, 40 goals guaranteed. We haven't really replaced either of those players. We lost Kulusevski to injury, who was another sort of 20 goal a season player. Maddison another 10, 15 goal a season player is not fit. So we've lost a lot of goals from our front line and we haven't replaced it yet. So I think Savinho and Gakpo will be a good start on that. But again, I still just kind of feel it's missing that, where who's the one that you look at and think that guy's gonna get me 20 goals this season? Don't really see any of the people that we even the ones that we're linked with being that, which is why I just feel like maybe we got to just go and break the bank for someone like Osimhen to go bring him in now. We know he's going to get 25 goals in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. Sorry, just like the way wages work in Turkey, right? Like I think they get like a 20% base rate across on their tax basically for all their salary, which. I mean, I'm hoping someone like Osimhen looks at Spurs and goes, "That's my chance to play in the Premier League and shine and create a legacy." This is no like shine on the Turkish league, but the comparisons in legacy, it's just not going to be there if you don't do it in one of the big 5 leagues. I mean, even that is questionable now, right? But if you don't do it in the Premier League, like, is it worth it even for the money?
I mean, yeah, we'd have to pay him an absolutely outrageous amount of wages to get anywhere near that what he earns at Turkey now. I think we're looking at sort of, we'd have to completely break the bank, which we have done a few times, but we're probably looking at what's Mickey van der Ven's on or something like that. So it would be a serious outlay of money, but at the same time, that kind of transfer would rock us like completely, wouldn't it, as a team? So, and that's the thing with strikers, unless you pay that kind of wages, there's not really anyone out there, unless you get like a Harry Kane or an Osimhen, that's going to guarantee you goals. Like it's just. It's a really dry market. I think we got really unlucky with Krupi, to be honest. I really do think Krupi would have been the one. That injury has really set us back. But beyond Kane and Osimhen, I mean, Watkins is an interesting one. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I've seen some people look at that. I think he might be going to Saudi though. But I think Watkins is at least a sort of, you're going to get probably 15, 20 goals a season if you get Watkins, right? But beyond that, there's just not many guys out there that you can look at to get you 20 goals a season anymore.
Bill, without sounding like too much of a fanboy, obviously I've always told you I've always listened to Last Word on Spurs and listened to you, mate. And I thought you made a brilliant point on, I can't remember which show it was last week. I mean, you put one out every fucking day, so it could have been any day last week.
I don't normally make brilliant points though, so it must have been a rare.
Well, no, this one, I wouldn't say. I think it would be controversy like what people think.
I know what you're going to say, actually. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, saying about signing Krupi now. I get what you're saying. Sign him while he's injured, because at the end of the day, like you said, by the time the season gets going, that's a month, and then what you said afterwards, and then however long he's out for, and then that's if we're waiting until January to sign someone, he'd be fit and ready to go. And would you get him at a cut price deal? So yeah, I kind of got what you're saying there, to be honest.
If you've got Richarlison and Solanke for like 2 months, you can just about get by on that, and then Krupi comes in and hopefully towards Christmas time, whatever, and then he's going to be the striker for 5-10. I just can't see us taking a risk like that. But for me, if that's the striker you want for 5 years, then 2 months is not really a big difference, is it?
Yeah, I kind of agree that long term, but I feel like, can we afford to wait till January? And that's assuming that he comes in fit in January as well. Yeah. It's probably going to take him about 3 or 4 weeks to get back to like match fitness. I like him.
With our medical history, you can just know that when he joins, he'll break the other metatarsal, won't he? So.
Exactly. And who's to say Solanke's not going out injured again? I don't know. I feel like we need someone in the door now who can hit the ground running. But yeah, I mean, I'm not the Watkins one for me personally. I just feel like that. I don't know, Lee. I think he's like a fit Solanke. I really do. Like, I feel like if Solanke could stay fit, he'd probably get Watkins' numbers.
He's better than Solanke, bro. He's much.
Yeah, he is, but it's because he's fit all the time.
I'm going to say one which is a bit controversial, and I got a bit of the heated debate on the last one on Spurs last night for saying it. But what do you guys think about Nico Jackson? I'm not saying anything. I'm just putting it out there. What do you think about Nico Jackson?
Not for me. Not for me.
Politely pass.
Yeah, not for me.
He's got a very bad rep amongst pretty much all the football fans, right?
Yeah. Obviously, we in our group, Bill, we saying just before you come on, me and Oren had not a back and forth. Obviously, we had a discussion about Solanke. See, I'm personally a massive fan of Solanke, and I've backed him to the hill. I always said how good he is, and when he is fit, what he offers. It's more. I know he's not on the score sheet every week, but it's more so what he offers off the ball. He's like holding up and he's creating other things, creating runs and holding defenders off and stuff. And when you're at the ground, obviously you see that. You don't see it all the time on the TV, but when you're actually there in person, you can see them things. So I've always rated him highly, but we just can't keep up with this fucking injury. It's him, and then the other one we've got is Solanke. So sorry, Richarlison. Yeah, I agree. I think we need to bring someone in, and yeah, would Jackson? Would he get bag of goals? I like Watkins personally. My mate's a massive Villa fan. He's a season ticket holder there, and he'd be good to see Watkins go, but he thinks he's going to go. Yeah, I don't know, man. We need to get someone over because it's scary.
So I've got one, and I think what's been clear in this transfer window is that we want to sign proven Premier League quality, right? So what about Marcus Rashford coming in on a loan for a season as a bit of a stopgap, which means that we can go big again for Krupi next summer? Because I just feel that this season De Zerbi wants a fluid front three, a malleable, that they can play on the wings, play up front. And that central focal point has to be someone that can link the play, and maybe Rashford might be that person, but obviously wages might be prohibitive.
I'll be absolutely all over Rashford. I said it before the World Cup, and I thought he was good at the World Cup as well. But I think for me, it's a no-brainer, Rashford, because I know he's available for like 20 mil with that clause, but obviously that's expired now. But I think it looks like he might stay with Carrick, doesn't it? But I think that would just, that's a goal guarantee there with Rashford, isn't it? Like, I thought he was a bit underused at the World Cup, to be honest with you, and I think he would just slot straight away, and suddenly you've got again 15, 20 league goals a season, Rashford. I would do that all day, to be honest.
Agreed. I'd agree there, big time. I mean, outside of the forward line, Billy, do you think defensively this is as strong, especially in the centre-half areas, that we've been for quite a while? Would you say this is an upgrade? Do you see this closer to where we wanted to be with the Tongan and Alderweireld, or do you feel like losing Romero is a big thing for us?
I think that's a complicated question, just because depends which version of Romero you count, doesn't it? Like, if you count the best version of Romero, then it's hard to upgrade on that because he's one of the best defenders in the world. I think if you're looking at the Spurs Romero, then it's probably an upgrade, because if you play 38 games a season, you've upgraded on Romero, because his availability is so bad. I think it sits around 65% in his 5 years at Tottenham, which is shockingly bad. I think it's a shame that it's ended like this, but I think it had to end like this as well. I'm really, really pleased that we signed Van Hecke. I think Van Hecke is probably one of my highlights of preseason so far. The way that he looks, just unbelievable on the ball. I think Van Hecke and Van der Ven will definitely be our centre back pairing for the Premier League, and then Senesi, Danso, Davis, a really good depth there. And I think that's a very good set of 5 centre backs you got there, to be honest. I do kind of feel like Romero is just one of those complex ones, isn't it? Like if you're talking about Europa League final Romero, then it's not an upgrade. But I think overall at Tottenham, the Romero Tottenham, then I'm glad he's gone, to be honest. But it just feels like there's so much unfinished business with Romero as well, just because it could have always been more. We could have seen him more. We could have seen him play more games for Tottenham. But my main thing is I'm just glad that all the noise has gone around Romero, just because I just feel like you're looking at the last game of the season as a case in point, like all the stories around it are about Romero, and he's not even in the bloody squad. It's like it's so exhausting. It's always in the column minutes. There's always a conversation about him. Gary Neville is always talking about him on Sky. The build-up's always about Romero. What's Romero going to do? Is he going to get sent off? And so I'm glad that we're moving on from it. But I do feel kind of sad at the same time that we've lost one of the best defenders in the world, but didn't see it enough at Tottenham, I have to say.
Agreed. And what about Spence then? Because the talk of both of them going, Romero and Spence, going for fees that you almost say, did we do enough to get as much as we could from him as a player? And the fee, what was your take on Jed Spence?
It's a bit of a sad one for me, because I absolutely adore Jed Spence, one of my favourite players. One of my favourite stories in football, watching him come through and beating the sort of adversity that he had. Like you had Neil Warnock going at him at the first time, Conte going at him when he joined Tottenham, got loans, almost went to Genoa on a permanent deal, came back into the fold and was suddenly unbelievable, and got picked for England. Everyone said he shouldn't even be anywhere near the squad, and then he's one of England's best players. I love supporting Jed Spence. I think the question for me is whether I don't think he's anywhere near Pedro Porro as a right back, who's probably hard pushed to find a better right back in the world at the moment after the World Cup. But for me, a more interesting question is he our best left back? I'm not sure about that because Udogie is never fit and he hasn't played a minute of pre-season, and Robertson has obviously been decent pre-season, but is getting on. But I just kind of feel like I wonder if there's a chance because Spence was so good at the World Cup. I don't know if you guys have seen his social media the last couple of days. Like he looks like he's on the verge of being like a proper world superstar in terms of football, like just getting mad attention. He's got like Twitter pages that are now dedicated to Jed Spence, and did that video, and like Inter Milan fans are all a superstar signing. And I wonder if that would have kicked him on as a player. But at the same time, like, I think you can back a manager in two ways, and one of the ways you can back a manager is by buying the players that they want. But the other way, and this is not what we've done in the past, is by selling the players that they want as well. So I don't think it's necessarily about the transfer fee with this one. I think it's more about De Zerbi doesn't rate him, so let's just get him gone. Same with Romero, same with Vicario, same with these players. And I honestly believe in my heart, right, if Daniel Levy was still here, there's absolutely zero chance that Romero and Spence would be gone for those transfer fees, and they'd probably still be here.
Agreed.
Joining training. It'd be awkward because they know they're not really going to be here, but they're still in training. They're still talking about Romero, still talking about Spence. So I think that's a really interesting way of backing De Zerbi, and not something we've seen before. It reminds me a little bit of Arteta when he ripped up Ozil's contract and stuff like that. So an interesting way of backing the manager, I think, is getting rid of the players. You might have to take a loss sometimes. You might have to take an L in terms of the transfer fee. Daniel Levy would never take an L in terms of the transfer fee, which is why we ended up keeping players for years and years and years, because he would never say, right, Jed Spence, you can have him for 30 million euros. This would never happen under Levy, so I get it. But sad to see him go, and I will genuinely be watching Inter because I really love Jed Spence.
So just really quickly, I've been chomping at the bit. This whole thing about Jed Spence, and you said about his brand, and he's on the verge of blowing up on Twitter and on socials. That's brilliant, but in terms of his quality as a footballer, for me, he's never been of that grade where you can look and say, he's one of the best right backs in the league. He was going to be our second choice right back, and he was going to be our fourth choice left back. And yes, Jed Spence has had a wonderful redemption arc, but for me, I've never seen it. And in this kind of market, I'm a little bit disappointed that we couldn't get a little bit more money. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm not sad to see him go, because I think we can do better. And as you said, Pedro Porro is probably the best right back in the world at the minute.
Do you not?
I get it. I think it's important for a left footer to be left back for De Zerbi, right? Like he wants a left footer there for sure as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you not think he has the potential to go on to be something special though?
No,
if there is a brand being built,
I think that might happen after the World Cup.
Yeah.
No, in short, he's a good defender. He's a good one-on-one defender. But in the modern game, you need your right back to do more than that. You need him to be able to attack. You need him to be able to underlap and get into the central midfield, and that's how De Zerbi plays. And ultimately, I think that's what's done for him, and the lack of Europe for us this season, which means that rotation is going to be few and far between.
And speaking of his Instagram, I saw his sister's just done a goodbye post on Instagram to Spurs as well. So we've lost the whole family. We've lost the whole family.
She was more famous than him at one point.
She's brilliant. I watched all her stuff. She's great.
Yeah.
I got interviewed by her outside the ground.
There you go.
Her and her mum.
We've lost two legendary mums, haven't we, today? We've lost Mrs. Vicario and Mrs. Spence. So there you go.
No.
Bill, talking of Lee. Talking of right backs, one of the questions we got in on TikTok, because obviously if you need to replace Jed Spence, Dan from TikTok said, would you take your hero Emerson Royale back on the permanent as a replacement for Jed Spence?
Oh, mate, I'd always have a special place in my heart. But I think the chart sums it up well, doesn't it? He can't defend, he can't attack. So I think where we're going, we've moved on from that kind of player. But I'd love to have that vibe. So I don't know what you guys think about Archie Gray maybe playing there this season, because at the moment we don't have another right back, do we? But I would be interested to see if we do buy another right back in the market, because I don't know if Archie Gray is going to get more minutes at centre back. But
so I've got one. And it's a bit of a So I've got one. It's a bit of a left field. What about bringing Kyle Walker back for a season?
Really?
Yeah, this got banded around the chat today. I'm not going to lie, I've glossed over it very quickly.
I've seen a few people suggest that as well.
I'm pretty sure he's the same age as me, or if not, just very close. I mean,
he's a bit quicker than you,
we're in the same level of fitness at the moment. But yeah, I don't know. I feel
Did he play against West Ham? Did he play against West Ham at the weekend?
Yeah, he's fast as fuck as well. Rapid he was.
A bit faster than Emerson Royal. Still,
played centre back.
I saw Trippier playing for Wolves as well. That was a bit weird at the weekend as well.
Yeah, get them all back. Let's get Toby about. I'll give him a ring. But then I guess that we've got that, and I was saying to the lads last week, and we've really sung his praises on here. I'll talk about Williams Barnett, Billy. Again, lovely little finish yesterday. We surely got to integrate him into this season. I know we've not got a lot of football in terms of Europe, and therefore, it's a 38-game season in many ways if you go out the cups early. But surely he's got to get integrated, right? Because I think that is a player that we're sitting on that needs to get into the fray.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really tough one, isn't it? Because we've, as Spurs fans, we've hyped up so much youth talent over the years, and we obviously witnessed what's arguably the best ever academy player in the history of the Premier League, and Harry Kane. And sort of everyone gets compared to Harry Kane now. It's like if they're not doing a Harry Kane, then they're useless. And we've had some Harry Winkses and Ollie Skips and people like that. And I saw Ollie Skip playing in League One, and I watched him play on Friday against in League One. But I just kind of feel like I don't want to hype him up too much, but I really do feel like we're looking at a serious, unbelievable amount of talent when you watch this guy. Just watch him do things with the ball that you just think that's just like you can't coach that stuff that he does. It's like the way he just like moves the ball with his left foot and beats two players instantly, or the way that he accepts the ball from a pass. It's like he's just got something when you watch it. And I kind of feel like as Spurs fans, we're naturally thinking now, don't want to get him in the first team, send him on loan, see what happens. And then we'll see what happens after that. We'll send him on loan because that's what we did to Harry Kane. That's what we do with Mikey Moore. Our natural tendency is to send these players out on loan and see what happens. But I just kind of feel this guy like he's a magician. Like I just feel like if he's in and around the first team, you give him 5 minutes in a Premier League game, he can just come on and change a game. You never know what's going to happen. I think he'll probably start against like Charlton maybe in the cup, and then you see what happens from there. But for me, I think there's two options with Luca Williams-Barnett. You could either put him in the under-21s and he'll be a superstar in the under-21s and play 90 minutes every week. But for me, I would keep him around the first team because I think if he's training with De Zerbi every week and he's training with all the players, then he already automatically knows, well, actually, I'm knocking on the door of the first team here straight away. And I think our biggest problem over the last few years, probably since like the Kane, Harry Winks, that era where we had loads of academy players coming through, is we just don't really have much of a pathway at the moment. We don't have any sort of, last season, we didn't have any academy players, and we've only really got Brandon Austin that came through the academy, who obviously is a third-choice goalkeeper. Like Mikey Moore is out on loan. We don't have a single academy player in the first team. Don't have a single academy player in the squad. So I think we have to show. This guy like your future is here at Tottenham. If you stick around the first team, even though you're 17 years old, you are going to be in the first team because I just feel like every team in Europe would take this guy right now. Like he would go to Barcelona. He'd go to Real Madrid. He's that good of a talent. So I think it's really we have to manage this one really, really carefully.
Thing for me as well is we were talking earlier. Lee was saying, obviously, Lee was at the game on Saturday and he was saying Tell just didn't have that end product and stuff like that. Whereas you watch Williams-Barnett on Sunday and he just skips past players. So why not just give him a go?
Yeah.
If we don't bring anyone in at the weekend, I know it's a big risk and stuff, but if like whether to hook him straight away, if he was having a bad game, say something like that, what happened to Kinski, I know it's not going to be that bad, but you don't want to ruin the lad's career. But at the minute, it's nothing but positive. So why not just give him a go? Because Tell can't be that man, and he gets lucky. Whereas Williams-Barnett just fucking skipping around players. Give him a go if we don't bring anyone in. But if not, like you said, give him minutes. I really think there is a very, very special player there. And if we just keep sending him out on loan and someone else might not progress him, whereas if he's around De Zerbi and playing the way he wants to, just give him a fucking go. What we've got to lose at the minute, but that is only if we don't bring someone in. Obviously, bring someone in, then fair enough. But if not, I'd give him a go personally. I really would.
Yeah,
I completely agree. And I think like if you look at I think everyone has natural tendencies to think he can't be ready because he's 17. But if you look at when he plays against Chelsea in pre-season, he looks like one of the best players on the pitch. Plays against Hoffenheim, first team, looks like one of the best players on the pitch. Every time he's played in pre-season, he doesn't look like he's not ready to me. And then I think if you compare it to like Max Dowman, who gets Premier League minutes from Arsenal, if you look Rio Ngoma at Liverpool gets minutes sometimes in the Premier League, scored on his debut in the Premier League last season. These are similar age to him, so I don't see why there's any reason. I just think it's worth taking a risk, and if it doesn't pay off, what you got to lose? Like, he's just, he's 17. He's got like 5 years ahead of him until he's 22. So you got so much time to develop him.
Yeah, I totally agree, Billy. And it's great to hear your viewpoint on a lot of this, because obviously you are in the podcast world in many different ways. Like you said earlier on, it was a crazy busy year for you last year. How has it all sort of developed? Like, how did you get into the podcast world through Last Word of Spurs, Two Geese in a Pod? Like, how has it all sort of manifested into what it is now?
Do you know what? I I'm really lucky. I just love talking about Tottenham. Have a season ticket, started going. I've always obviously gone to Tottenham my whole life. I didn't have a season ticket to Wembley. Started going every week. I'm just really lucky to meet some really cool people, and I'm just happy to chat Tottenham with anyone really. I think over the last couple of years, I've managed to become like really close friends with Ricky Sachs, who's a really great guy, and got a nice one on Spurs, and met people like Sean I do the other pod with. But to be honest, it all stems from just being in pubs and talking to Tottenham people, and then you get to know them, and then you like you guys, and then you think, it's basically just replaced talking about football in the pub, hasn't it? Being on the podcast, and that's what I think is brilliant.
Exactly
it's just that's all it is, and it's amazing that now this is a thing that you can just talk. You can be talking with Tottenham fans in America or Australia or something. It's just amazing that technology has led that far. But really, to be honest, mate, it's just because I like talking about Tottenham. Lucky to meet some cool people that do the same, and really, I just think at heart we're essentially just sat around a table at a pub, aren't we, with a pint talking about Tottenham. That's all podcasting really is to me. It's just having chats with Spurs about your mates, and how lucky is it that we all get to do it? And like, I think it's a blessing that get to meet so many cool people doing it.
Oh, tell me that, mate. And like, in terms of pubs, what's your go-to pubs when you've been to the Spurs and that? What are your preferred choices?
So my pub of heart is the Volunteer. I don't know if you guys know the Volunteer. I always get through Tottenham Hale. Always go through Tottenham Hale. I much prefer Tottenham Hale to Seven Sisters because I prefer the walk, and then you literally walk straight past the Volunteer. Always going there on the first one. Because I've got quite a few different groups of mates, different people, that I go to Tottenham with, and they all have their different pubs. So some of them like the Beehive, some of them like Coach and Horses, some of them like the Bricklayers. I'm quite old school. I like an old school pub, which is why I like places like the Volunteer, Coach and Horses, Elbow Rooms. Those are my favourite. For me, the dingier the pub, the better for me. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not one of those into those like posh pubs where they sell food, like top class meals and all that. I'm about a grotty pub with cheap drinks and like a sticky floor and stuff like that. That's my kind of thing. But I mean, I've never known a place like Tottenham in the world where there's so many good pubs. Like you can just, whoever you go with, you go to a different one. Someone will go say, do you want to come to the Gilpin or the Antwerp or something like that? I've never known such a small area of concentration where there are so many good pubs. But my pub of choice will always be Volunteer. But to be honest, I get around them all. But And now the thing is with Tottenham is like a lot of people just go straight to the ground, don't they? Because you can drink in the ground.
Yeah, it's surprising.
I think the South Stand outside area is one of my favourite places.
Right.
Just because you can get a drink there easy. I'm terrible at watching football matches. Like I will get there late. If it gets to about 25 minutes, I'm thinking, right, half time, pint coming soon. Get to the second half late, leave early. Like I don't have the concentration span for it, especially over the last couple of seasons because it's so depressing watching us. But the half time pint is always on my mind. But I quite like the South Stand outside area as well.
Yeah, it's nice out there. But what about your chosen place to eat? I mean, there's like pubs. There's plenty to choose from, mate. Is there anything that you like? Oh, I feel like that today, and that would be your go-to when it comes to eating.
I do, mate. I've got another one that's very close to my heart, which is a Brown Eagle.
Okay, yeah, love it.
I love a bit of Jamaican food, man. And the good thing about there is the rum puncher is absolutely unreal as well. If you get a rum punch in there, they don't skimp on the shot, so it's lethal. But I love Brown Eagle as well. That's my fave. Again, a lot of my mates like a Turkish before or something like that, but Brown Eagle all the way for me.
All right, what's your choice from Brown Eagle, mate?
I always like a bit of jerk chicken from there. Unbelievable. My mate went to the friendly. I didn't go to Hoffenheim, but my mate did. So there's a load of new spots on Tottenham High Road. He said there's a new South Korean chicken place, which is supposed to be really good.
Oh, right. Okay, I didn't see that.
I think there's quite a few new places, which I'm looking forward to trying. Obviously,
Lee obviously didn't notice him when he was there. He was smashed.
I was steaming, mate.
That's the thing. As soon as I've had a couple of drinks, I'm not really. I don't really eat afterwards. I'm just more about the drinks really. But Brown Eagles was one. But my mates, a lot of my mates swear by the food in the stadium as well, like the sausage rolls and stuff.
Interesting. I don't think I might have done on the first day.
You know what? The sausage rolls, actually, I will agree with. When I'm proper tanked up, and I need a little bit of recovery, I'll hit a sausage roll, and they're like as thick as my arm. Honestly, they're decent. They're decent.
I did hear some pretty devastating news that apparently the pint price has gone up in the stadium, now, hasn't it? I've heard it's gone up to £7.
Yeah, I think it was quite pricey. We've got beer in there. But I think
hopefully they're not flat anymore then, if they're putting prices up.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. The sausage rolls I remember everyone saying about. I think the first and the only time I had that was, remember the first game, like the Tester event, it was like the youth game. Yeah. I think I had it that day. Well, I somehow was able to stumble into a bat, walk through one door, and I got given loads of free food. I was like,
that was when everyone was mind blown by the pints filling up from the bottom, weren't they? I found that it's like the best thing everyone's ever seen.
We all done the same with that, didn't we? By the way, everyone had to have a little. What's going on here? And I'd lose half the pint on the floor.
It leaks, don't you feel?
Yes, it's a magnet, right? It's like a little magnet that flicks out, and I think everyone sort of had a go, lost half their pint on the first one.
But so then finally, Billy, like, it's been so good to have you on, and we'd love to speak to you again throughout the season.
Man.
Absolute joy. But we have got this game against Brentford. It's hard. It's the first game of the season. We haven't got the full score that we may have in 4 or 5 days' time. What do you see happening on Saturday?
Joe, it reminds me of the first game under Ange when we played Brentford away and we drew 2-2. That felt like a really exciting time. And then when the game came along, we escaped with a 2-2 draw, and I think we went 1-0 up them and then 2-1 down, and then we drew 2.
That's right.
Something like that. It reminds me a bit. It feels like it's De Zerbi's first game, doesn't it? But it's not, obviously, but it has that same kind of feeling. I see Brentford have had a pretty decent pre-season. I think they won 7-0 yesterday against Frankfurt, didn't they? And I think they've done well. They've kept all of their players as well, which I think is a surprise. Obviously, last season they lost Mbeumo and Norgard, the captain, lost the manager as well, unfortunately for us. But this season, they're coming off a really strong season, aren't they? So it's not an easy first game, is it, at all? And it's kind of one of those things where everyone is so hyped about Tottenham right now. We've got an unbelievable start to the transfer window. We've bought Tonali, Fernandes. The last thing you want is to go and lose 2-0 to Brentford, isn't it? All that feeling will dissipate. So I'm hoping we just nick a win. I just feel like with the quality that we've got in midfield now, that Tonali, Fernandes, Van Hecke, centre-back, I just feel like we're going to control the game. A bit worried about the forward option zone. So I don't think there's no way we're going to go out there and thrash them or something like that. But I think we might nick a 2-1 away win, which will obviously be an unbelievable start. But to be honest, it would not surprise me if we drew that game, just because it's not an easy place to go. I remember Arsenal going there a few years ago and getting turned over, didn't they? So it's not an ideal first start, but I would take a narrow victory all day long. Yeah,
I hear you, Billy. It's been an absolute joy to have you on, mate. It's been our
pleasure's been mine, guys.
Absolute joy. So we look forward to speaking to you.
See you down for a pint as well.
Yes, indeed, mate. A pint and a sausage roll, or a bit of Jamaican. I'll tell you what, we'll have a real pleasure, guys. I really appreciate it. All the best, Billy. Take care, mate.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye-bye, mate. Bye-bye. The legend, that is Billy T there. So lovely to have him on the show. He talks really well, lads. He knows his stuff. And I think, what's brilliant about it, like we said, it's almost like being in a pub. We all got different opinions on that. I feel like when we break down the different elements of the squad, we have got a really strong squad. I think I personally am really over the moon with our centre-backs. I think Senesi looked a real player the other day for me. I really liked him. And that's alongside Van Hecke, Van de Ven, Danso, who I think has only kept improving for us over the last season. So I'm happy with all of those. And then you look at if you have to have a Davis there or whatnot, and that's now 5th choice. So it's really, really strong for us. So getting these players in the more further and advanced positions, and I think we've got a good. We're in really, really good stead to do something here. which is to move as far up the table as possible. But what I'm going to ask you all each to wrap up, I'll start with you, Orin, is just like I asked Billy T, what do you see happening on Saturday?
So Brentford is a difficult place to go. Always a difficult place to go, and they're coming off of a strong pre-season. Like Billy said, I think if we can sort the forward line, I think we might nick an away win. If we don't, then I worry, and I think the maximum we can get is a draw out of the game. But it all depends on whether or not we can quickly get Savinho and Gakpo sorted by Friday. If we do, then I think we'll beat them. Nice.
Shane, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, to kind of mirror what Oren says, for me, it depends who we get over the line. If we do get them two over the line, then I think the buzz will be that high around the player. You think how we're feeling now, the players are going to feel the same. It's just more quality coming in, more quality attackers. So, yeah, I think we will nick a win. But having said that, will people's ass go a little bit if we don't get them attackers? And it's kind of like, we've got Richie up front, Tell on the left, and we can't really rely on them. So I don't want to kind of swerve the question, but for me, it does really depend on if we bring anyone in. If we don't, I still think we'll get some in, because at the end of the day, what we brought in so far is just pure quality, like you said. From the back, them two lads in the midfield, it makes such a difference. I mean, look at Tonali the other day and Fernandes. I think Fernandes is going to be the unsung hero. I really think he's going to be the one that goes above and beyond for Spurs. I think he'll be absolutely brilliant signing. But him and Tonali together, and then no matter what's in front of them, they will provide. But it's just if they can pull it away. So yeah, long answer, Lee. But
tough though, mate. I don't envy you.
It's tough, mate. It's just it does really depend on what we do. But I'm confident that we'll definitely. I don't think we'll lose. I think we'll get something no matter what.
Nice. Tej, confident?
Yeah, I am actually. I think, I don't know, I feel like I'd like to have had this game at home first, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like the buzz around Tottenham at the moment is very positive, and I feel like the stadium for the home game is going to be absolutely rocking. But I'd like to have gone and had that first, because but Brentford is a banana skin. And I think that's something we need to remember, is that, you play these teams that are not so big, and they've got small stadiums, and you think you're going to go there and just dominate, and it never really happens. And I sound like a broken record compared to what everyone else has said, because it is all about the attacking line. And, everything we've done so far in the transfer window has been fantastic. I mean, Billy alluded to it when he was on. We've also sold players that need to be moved on, and we've strengthened in areas that needed strengthening with proven talent. Why have we not done it in the forward line? Why is it taking so long? That's my issue. And yes, the market's stale, but we need someone in that number 9 position, because as much as Solanke and Richarlison will get us goals this season, they're not going to be the game changers that we need them to be. So with that in mind, I actually think we could go and get a draw. But something in my heart is saying we're going to nick a 1-0. I think we've done well defensively in pre-season. And that's one thing that I don't think we spoke about a lot, to be honest. But I think defensively we look pretty assured. So I'm hoping he starts with a solid back 4. And we go out and nick a 1-0. My heart says we're going to nick a 1-0.
Yeah, I see a 1-0, 2-1. I see a 1-goal victory. A tough game. Never going to be easy to go there. They've really proven themselves. But I think we can do it. And I do personally think we can do it, even if we don't get all the names that we're saying. I think if we was to get a Savinho, I think we might have enough there. I think Solanke's out, isn't he? I think it'd be.
Yeah. Who starts on the right for you? Who starts on the right for you?
Fucking surprise regarding Solanke. Fuck it.
It'd probably have to be. It'd have to be more, wouldn't it?
Do you think? I think he might start.
Yeah, on the right hand side. Would he be on the right hand side?
Yeah, it's gonna at the minute it's gonna have to be more. If he's not gonna go with Williams Barnett, I mean the other option is you go Williams Barnett or Tell on the other side, but he's gonna start more over him. But me personally, I know I've already said it, but I'd give Williams Barnett a go. Really would.
Oh,
He just
I love
fucking, he
But
just
a 90
absolutely but he glowed, not for the 90, but starting maybe, just give him that boost of confidence. Imagine that. He just glides past players. I can't remember who it was. I swear it was Doncaster we had in the cup. And I remember saying to my boy, there's a young lad, we've been talking about him on the pod, blah, blah, hopefully he comes on. And honestly, the roar he got that night when he come on against Doncaster was the biggest of the whole night. And that was, I think, was it even last season or season before? I can't remember. But whenever it was, him coming on, and he was just so exciting to watch. And he's been the same, like Bill said earlier, every time he's played, been the best player on the pitch. Why not just give him a go? Because I like Moore, but I don't think he is that superstar. I think Williams Barnett is going to be. So give him a chance, and who knows?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's the area of excitement that is there, and I do hope he gets minutes in the next few weeks. Charlton, he most definitely probably will. But yeah, lads, look, that's episode 200 down. Big thanks to Billy T again for coming on. Big love to you lot. I think, it's exciting, nerve-wracking, anxiety-driven. But that's Tottenham Hotspur, right? That's what happens when you support this team. I don't think it'll ever change. But we'll be back next week when hopefully we're 3 points to the good and we are a few more players to the good. I think that it is going to be quite the week. Make sure to follow us across our socials. We will be prominent throughout. Anything that happens, you will hear from us. We were live on Twitch tonight, people, for the first ever time. Heart Now here, as we put on our ticker across at Heart Now _Spurs, shall I say. We're now live on Twitch. We're on Instagram every week, YouTube. We will look to be going more on TikTok as time goes on, but our socials will be on throughout the week. If you listen to us, if you watch us, if you see our images, interact with us. And look, last week we had close to 1,200 listeners on our podcast, which is a big thing for us. It really means a lot. We're growing all the time, and we want this season to be as successful for us as we hope it is for the team. So anyhow you get across Heart Now Here Spurs, whether you follow us on any kind of social, please make sure you like, share, subscribe, because it means the world to us, and it means that more people can see us and hear about us. But T, you got something to say?
I just want to say, we get so much interaction through this podcast on all the socials, and we never really ask for any favors. But can I ask that people just provide some rating on any of the platforms? We love to get the ratings on the platforms. Like we love doing this, and we love seeing and I love speaking to people. Like Billy said earlier, the thing I love is the interactions I have with people down the Spurs. People come up to me, we talk about the pod, we talk about Spurs, and whatever. We just have a drink with them, and I love that. But I'd love to see people just give us the feedback on the thing, even if it's negative. I mean, try to keep it to yourself actually. But no, listen, if any feedback, just give it to us on wherever you're receiving the platform, Spotify, Apple, all the platforms that you consume your podcasts. Give us a rating, tell us what you think, and we'd love to have that feedback from you guys. So really appreciate it.
And if you think it is shit, give us a 5-star review, but just say shit underneath, and we'll still be happy.
Yeah. If you've got any tips on how to what to do on a cruise, let me know by tomorrow this time. Yeah. I'd love to know.
And what I'm going to sound old here. What's Twitch?
So Twitch is a live stream gaming platform, bro. So basically, people played games online and you watched them play. It's now become a whole.
Fucking hell, what's going on? Get outside, everyone!
A whole other streaming process. Yeah. So now here we're more than just an Instagram page. We are everywhere. And 200 episodes down. I did not think I'd be saying that in 2021 when we had to do it through a phone and connected up to our good friend Arthur's computer when we didn't even.
Do you remember, for those, listen, there's so much that goes on in the background, guys. You wouldn't realize. So everyone that listens to this, there is actually so much that goes on in the background. But if you ever get a chance, go back and listen to episode 1, 2 to 10 or something. It's all through phones. We literally used to call each other up and hit a record button. It is insane how far we've come on this. Actually, mad.
All in lockdown as well, but good times. And with 200 down, and we're not stopping. We're only going more forward, and that's just like the club. So, lads, have a great week. I'll be away next week, but the team will be here talking Brentford, hopefully talking about 3 points. Get involved. Let us know what you think, and we will see you next Monday. See you soon. Come on, you Spurs.
What Spurs?